Welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast with Core 4 Complete Fitness. Your episode is starting in 3, 2, 1.
I never wanted it to end.
I know. Welcome, peoples. Just talking about the old puckaroony. Before we get going, guys, like always, if you could subscribe to this podcast, there's a subscribe button on iTunes, on Spotify, on Audible, on YouTube, on whatever platform you're probably listening to on. If you could press that button, that way when we get a new episode dropped, you will be alerted immediately. And second favor we ask before we get going, guys, is if this has helped you or anybody else in any way, shape, or form, or you know somebody that it could help, please feel free to share the podcast with them. You can post it on social media. You can send it to them in a text message. There's also on your platform probably a little copy link. All you have to do is post that, and we can keep this thing a-rocking for you guys. If I sound froggy still, then I was telling Evan, I don't know what the hell's going on with me. I'm nasally. I'm coughing up shit. I don't have a fever, but I just cannot shake like the tail end of whatever this bug that I have is. But it is what it is. We got to keep on rolling.
The show must go on, baby.
The show goes on, baby. And
go ahead.
It ties into our conversation today with you. In a nutshell, guys, we wanted to talk about kind of the mindset behind actually getting in shape forever. And generally, when people start off something in terms of fitness, it's always the most difficult. And for a lot of us, it's kind of that come to Jesus moment where we don't realize maybe how much work we have to do or how out of shape we let ourselves get. And when you get back into a routine, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this to myself. This is going to be so much work to kind of pull me out of this hole. Maybe you don't feel comfortable. Maybe you're embarrassed. And instead of focusing on progressing forward, people kind of think, oh my God, this sucks where I am. It's easier to retreat than stay stuck in this hell that I kind of built myself, where I'm not confident, I'm not happy, I'm not comfortable, than it is to kind of keep pushing forward. And a lot of us get so hyper focused on the stuff that we're not capable of that we forget to focus on the things that we can do. And you can apply this in terms of exercise. You can apply this in terms of diet. Even just starting like a home project. If you constantly look at, okay, I'm not able to do this, you're going to go broke trying to fix your house. So eventually you have to figure out things on your own. How do I install a sink? How do I do the plumbing in the sink? How do I put a garbage disposal in? All these things that you don't know how to do, you have to be willing to learn, have to be willing to adapt, and have to be able to ultimately grow yourself to get from point A to point B. But if you're constantly only focused on right now and how you look, how you feel, your comfortability factor, you're going to stay in that bubble, in that environment, until you actually kind of pop that bubble and break yourself out of it.
All things that I have to do right now, getting my house prepared for moving.
It's a lot of work.
Just to save money, but also kind of not save money. To make money potentially, but also maybe not. Anyway, I got sidetracked just thinking about all of that stuff once you brought that on.
Just brought you into a panic attack just now.
Brought me into my own.
Turn the podcast off. I have shit to do.
I can't do this right now. Yeah, we do. It's a human thing. We often get hyper focused on all the things we can't do. And from an outsider perspective, well, think about it this way, more than anyone else what you are capable of, right? But at the same token, you are the one that is setting your limitations. So like the thing, applying it to fitness, that'll drive me nuts that I can't stand if someone will say something like, oh, I can't do box jumps, or I can't do kettlebell swings. And it's not that you can't, it's just that you can't right now safely. But you can, it's the second that you have this want or need or urgency or whatever, and then people will go get really focused on, all right, I'm going to get a box jump. I'm going to do my first box jump ever. And then all of a sudden for that 4 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it takes, when they're inside of the gym, they they have a little different swagger to them. They have a little different energy. It's not as hard to show up to the gym. And it's because you have that carrot dangling in front of you that you're actively working towards, and it's focused. And although it's not consuming your whole life, like certain things might for some people, depending on whatever it is, but in the fitness world, I don't think this person's just thinking about box jumps all the time. However, it is it's more in the headspace than not, where 2 3 weeks prior, their whole mindset when it came to box jumps was, oh, I can't do that. Now it's like, no, I can't do it today, but I'll be able to do it tomorrow or whatever. And just that quick little fix of, instead of saying I can't do a box jump, is I can't do a box jump yet, or I can't do this yet, or I can't do kettlebell swings. It's like, no, 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 no. You just need to do building blocks. You need to get there. And if it's something that interests you and is important, as health and fitness is, it's necessary to do those building blocks and to work on it. But you gotta suck at first.
And it's like the whole, we've talked about it before, but like the building confidence thing where you complete one difficult task and you realize that you can do it. And then you're like, well, if I can do that, then maybe I can do this, or I can do a burpee with my chest all the way on the ground, or I can do whatever that thing is. But if you're constantly just in the beating yourself up mind state, and I know with like a lot of people, they'll go into a gym or anywhere that you feel uncomfortable, really, and you'll see a bunch of people that you're not kind of in that bubble or that circle. That happens like socially, it happens in the gym or work or anything. Where if like we keep talking about home stuff, but like if somebody was working on something in their garage and they're just like, hand me a blah 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 socket wrench with this, and I'm just like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
no clue what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
But then if you do it enough, you're like, okay, after a week, I know what he's talking about. I know where this is. And it's the exact same principle where you have to kind of work your way into that environment and be willing to be uncomfortable for a start. It's not going to be always, but it's
Right.
going to grow out of it. There's that thing that they say, you always want to be the dumbest person in the smartest room,
Right.
because it gives you all this, room to grow and room to adapt and evolve. Not saying you want to be the most unhealthy person in the room of fit people, but at the same time, it gives you
That'll
like
set you up.
that gives you something to shoot for, and like people can actually kind of push themselves to get to that next level.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the mind games that we play, and it's the oldest trick in the book, as they say, is like you set your own limitations. If you keep going around life going, I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't, well, then you can't, because you are in control of that. If you go, I can, no one can stop you from accomplishing whatever it is except you. You said, hey, I want to start a gym, I want to start a business. No one could have stopped you from doing that. You just decided to do it. But you could have stopped you from doing that. You could have been like, "God, I'm not doing it." Then there you go. It was successfully stopped.
Done. One
Right.
thought, that's it.
Yeah. So the and a lot of it is fear, right? We're definitely feared. We're fear of judgment from peers, which actually plays such a big role in everyone's lives. It's insane. Um, like how much that hinders any. I mean, that can hinder people just speaking their mind. They're like, yeah, there's too many people here. I don't want to get, and then I'm in a confrontation. Then I have to do. It's like it's so baffling.
Are they going to judge me? What are they going to think? What are they going to
Yeah,
blah 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 blah?
that's something so trivial. Like, do you remember in school, if you had a question, you just would not ask the question? You're
Yeah,
like,
it was like that, and you knew
someone's
you
gonna,
were completely clueless.
yeah,
You're like, well,
someone's gonna,
nobody else is raising their hand. Guess I'll figure my way through this.
right,
F.
right. Yeah. So I'm not gonna, and the reason you didn't ask the question was because of everyone's judgment. You thought everyone was going to go, oh my God, this idiot doesn't know that answer. So you went, I'd rather just not know. And so you're setting your own limitation, and that's obviously a very, very micro version of it, but you expand that to everything. Everything comes down to you versus you. So when it comes to the clothes you want to wear, sure, wear what looks good, but and be uncomfortable for 5 years, or just like, I don't know, be comfortable. I don't know. It's just such a weird, bizarre thing. Just the absolute stranglehold acceptance of everybody has on people, and getting into all my hippy dippy stuff. It always comes down to like just back where we came from, baby, tribal, where we want to be in a community and you need to be accepted, you need to be part of something. That's why isolation's so horrible for people, and we feel like with this gym example, we feel those bits of isolation when you walk into an environment and other people are doing things that you're not. And so you immediately go, that's them, I'm me. When in reality, it's just that's not you yet, just because you haven't been there yet. You know?
Yeah. And everybody, I've told this to people at the gym, but everybody has had their chapter one or page one. I go, very rarely does somebody walk into the gym and just start ripping it. And they're
No,
like, cool. They
no.
all have had their day one, their chapter one, where they were nervous, they were scared. But I always tell them, I go, you're doing the hardest part of all of this right now.
Right.
And just don't remember how this feels today, because you don't want to go back to this point. But I go, the toughest part is what you're doing right now, where you're kind of saying, I need help. I'm at my first page on my first chapter. I want to get to chapter 99, and I have 600 pages to get there, and I don't know how the heck to do it. So, understanding that too, people will look at somebody's chapter 99 and go, well, they're done. I don't belong, or I don't have what it takes to get there. Where in actuality, they started their first chapter, let's say 8, 9, 10 years ago. They've just stuck with it for a long period of time, and you can see it kind of pay off. Um, but that's the other thing too, is, if it takes longer, then so what? Like I think people kind of think of getting healthy almost like in terms of, like, how quick can I paint a house? I want it done in 3 weeks. We got people coming over, and I want the house to look good. When it's like, you haven't done, let's say, anything for, let's say, 5, 6, 7 years, or maybe a decade, or maybe your whole life, you got to kind of go into it with the understanding that this isn't just a quick, 3-week project where you can
Yeah.
slap some paint on it and have it all present itself good.
You don't even have a house.
And yeah, I go, you have to kind of build a foundation, put the steps in,
Yep.
build the walls, put the roof on. I go, this is a big, long process that ultimately you want something like your foundation to be solid. You don't want to go, crap, I starved myself for 3 weeks, or I didn't eat, or I wasn't allowed to have this, or I only drank water, and I'm completely miserable. Then the house collapses and I got to build it back up again. And you're constantly going through it, and it's mentally exhausting. It's physically exhausting. It stresses you out. And then it just does kind of ends up defeating you long term, where you're like, I'm tired of building these damn houses. They keep on falling down. I don't want to do this anymore. I guess I'll just stay out of shape forever.
Right. And yeah, and if the whole time, using that same metaphor, you had just been slowly working on that house, you'd have a perfectly good house by now.
Yeah.
And maybe it's fully done, painted to perfection, or maybe it's just closer. I think about that all the time with me, and when I got really, really into working out, because a lot of time, most of my life I didn't. I'd be the first to admit, and anyone who knows me didn't. All through like high school and playing sports, gym, your not gym, football. We had lifting requirements, and you'd go before school or during lunch or whatever. I would always skip that all the time. Didn't care. But, a lot of the guys did, and I just had no interest in like lifting weights. Just like, well, it's so weird. Fast forward now, however long later this is, um, and how much of a huge part of my life it is, how much I love it. But what was my point? Oh, yeah, it's so weird how like just now, let's say 10 years ago is when I got really, really committed to health and fitness. It's just like right now to the point where it's it's not like, oh, I work out so much, I'm so fit. It's just like it's so routinely part of my day. It's not even something I think about. It doesn't weigh on me. It doesn't weigh on time. And I'm not saying that, oh, I'm perfectly secure and happy with my body. I'm not saying that at all. I want to be stronger. I want to be faster. I want to look better. I have all these goals still. However, if the last 10 years I hadn't done any type of anything to build a routine or build a comfort or build some type of normality with just moving my body regularly, these steps now, the goals I have now, the immediate goal that 2 years ago when I ran a marathon, if I went from nothing to just running a marathon, it would have been way different than having this good baseline of fitness for 8 years. And then I just went, okay, I'm going to train for a marathon. All I'm going to do is add running, and add mileage for the months leading up to it. And so it's more realistic. And these goals are, it's if someone is 350 pounds and their goal is to be a physique competitor, that's going to take some time. If somebody is already in the gym, 250 pounds, they want to be a physique competitor at 200 pounds, and they've been working out in the gym for years, then they go, okay, I just got to hone in. I'm just going to have to lock in on my nutrition, get this plan going. But oftentimes we think about painting the house before we even have a house, and it's okay, and it's hard because you want immediate and instant gratification, right? That's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
We'd all be lying if we said we didn't want that. That's why things like the magic pills and the fad diets are also attractive to people, because we go, oh, this will work in a short amount of time, and it's like, to some extent it does, but using the house example, what good is the house if it's only going to be there for 10 days? Have
Yeah.
a house. Have a house that you can have forever. Build your foundation, build your life. And even if you're 40, 50, 60, 70 years old and you go, oh, this is all past me, just start. Because when you're 10 years from now, you're going to go, wow, thank God I feel and act and look so much better than if I just did. And it's not, yeah, don't worry about painting the house. Worry about, getting finding a spot to put a house, let alone anything else.
Try to leave your phone still.
Am
What's
I
going
moving
on?
too much?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Man, all this house talk is making you
Because I'm
young
fired up.
man's getting young man's getting antsy. Gonna end up whipping this phone into a wall.
Because I'm
But
jazzed.
but no, that do you know who that Andrew Tate guy is?
Yes.
So everybody has misperceptions about him, but anyways, he had this one clip that he posted,
Very
and
much.
some guy, oh yeah, some guy he was talking to, and it was like this younger kid, and he goes, "Hey, um, what's the easiest way or quickest way I can get a six pack or get abs?" And he said like something like how you said, and he was like, the easiest, quickest way, he's like, is the wrong way usually. He's like, the reason why you don't see everybody walking around with six packs is because it's somewhat difficult to do. He goes, you have to be very consistent. You have to have a routine. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the dedication. Not saying you can't live your life and have fun, but you have to be like, go, okay, here's my end goal. Just like with the marathon thing, I have to train like this. I have to eat like this. And I know if I do all those things, that the finish line will be waiting for me, this six pack. But a lot of people have the whole idea of, okay, I'm on, like we said, chapter 1. How do I get to 99 as quickly as possible? How do I get to this as quickly as possible? And if that was the case, everybody would be walking around with six packs.
For sure.
We wouldn't have this obesity epidemic going through the nation right now, where people are getting heavier and fatter every single year, and everybody would be in great shape. But that's the thing, is people kind of look for what's the fastest way I can get there, instead of what's kind of the most sustainable thing that I can do for years and years to come.
It's also like it's what we're all exposed to, because we spend all of our time on the internet and scrolling, and we're all seeing these highlight reels of people that aren't real. like that's not, if you look online on Instagram and you're seeing all these fitness influencers and how they look and how ripped they are, you're not seeing all the steps they're doing to do it. You're just seeing that that's how they walk around, and you go, oh, must be nice. It's like, no, they're doing a lot of stuff in life that you are not doing, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying one's better, one's worse. That's just what they chose to do with their life and their time and their passion, and yours is different. Now, if you walk into the grocery store and you see a lady who's the same age as you, and you go, she just is, she's not as heavy as I am, or she has nicer arms than I do, or whatever. That's a realistic, beneficial comparison that that's honest. When you walk into a room and you see somebody who plays in the NFL, you go, "Oh shit, that is a different thing." That is,
Yeah.
I can't believe we are both human beings, because that guy is
You are
6.
triple my size.
He can bench press, so much squat. So it's like, it's not even in the same ballpark yet. That's who I'm comparing my fitness goals to. I'm not going to be happy unless I look like The Rock. It's like, no, come on. I'm a 31-year-old dad I'm just trying to sell my house, grow my family, do whatever. It's like, okay, well then I just need to be able to be mobile and move and strong enough to like lift shit around the house and help. And I don't want to be a dad who needs to call, somebody to help install a dock or something because I'm 50 and I'm like out of shape. I just never want to be that. And that's just my personal thing. So that's my goal with fitness. I need to keep moving. And it's like, it's very similar to, if you look and you see somebody in real life and you go, oh wow, she's 65, she's amazing, she still lives alone. Or Chelsea was just telling us her grandpa is 91 and still plays pickup softball. Like
Jesus.
that is what's admirable. And anytime she goes, my grandpa still plays, he's 91, every single person who I hear her say that to goes, that is amazing. It's like, yes, that is really what your goal is.
But then there's
That
70-year-olds that have walkers.
Yeah, or there's
You know what I mean?
competitors and all of these guys that are roided up, who and girls who look like they're the peak of fit and health, that die at 45 all the time. They don't make
Yeah.
it all the time. That's why Arnold Schwarzenegger's body is still not what it was in its prime. It's like he stopped doing a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and now he's a rich and famous guy. He has a lot of help. It's just kind of these, and it's no one's fault, but that's what we're exposed to all the time. And then you get into
Yeah.
real. It's also similar. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent here. It's also
Oh, you're
similar to
good.
the whole cancel culture thing. Remember when cancel culture was huge and everybody was getting canceled left and right? But then you'd go out into the real world and you'd go, most people that I talk to in real life think it's ridiculous that Dave Chappelle is in trouble right now.
Yeah.
Most people are still going to go see Dave Chappelle. If you go to a Dave Chappelle, like, he's still selling out arenas, so he's still making money. So is he canceled, or is this just what we're seeing all the time? It's kind of very similar to, like, step out of this fake world that we're watching and observing and all the stuff I should look like, and just go to Kroger and walk around and go, yeah, this is just kind of what people are, and I want to just be able to do this as long as I can, and that's pretty good, you know?
Yeah. No, that's the thing though. But where you're like you said, all that uh, cancel stuff, but it's like I guarantee you, if someone sent you a text message and said, Dave Chappelle is at Kroger right now doing a free show and signing autographs, people would be like, holy shit, I'm going to be there in 5. Like,
Yeah,
you wouldn't be
exactly.
able to park. It would be an absolute zoo.
Exactly. Yeah, and yeah, except in the online universe, he's not anything anymore. It's just kind of a bizarre. I mean, that's an old example. I think now people are kind of relaxed on cancel culture, in my opinion. Thank God. Until it's all about to start again, because the election's coming up. But it's yeah, it's all just fake. We consume too much fake, and we see all these people in these peak physical conditions and go, oh, they just have good genes, or it's like, that person hasn't had bread in 15 years. It's like, you had waffles
They
this
might
morning.
not have kids. They might have, you know
There's
what I mean? They don't get the pizza night with the family on Friday or.
exactly. They live in the gym. You go to the gym for 20 minutes every 3 days a week. It's like, it's all great. It's just like the perspective shift is very important. And then it makes that, oh, I just want to do a box jump. It makes it so much more fun, and it's so just more, it keeps you going, to not have that carrot in front of us. We just go, it's just not me. And it's like, well, that's
Move your
you.
hand, Def.
I'm so bad at this today. It's
There you go.
I'm just trying to block my face. This hat always looks weird, and I always wear it in podcasts. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just going on a tangent here and rambling.
No, you're good. One of the other things to kind of close it out that I wanted to touch on is people feeling guilty when they live a little bit. And here's kind of my secret behind this is everybody's human beings. You're going to have a party. You're going to have a vacation. You're going to have a guy's night or a girl's night or whatever kind of that thing is to kind of celebrate life. That's what makes it worth living, being able to enjoy those moments. And you don't want to go, crap, I can't eat this or I can't eat that until the day that I die. There's going to be moments where you just want to kind of have fun. And those moments, you have to earn those moments just like you would with anything else. And I think when people start something and they want to get to that end chapter super duper quick, what they do is they kind of get like the laser tractor beams on, which is fine to an extent. But they go, nothing is going to get in my way until I reach this goal. And then they reach this goal. And even though let's say they lost 30 pounds or they look great, internally, like you said, they're absolutely miserable. They're like, this sucks. I'm not enjoying this process. And you'll see a lot of these people end up getting to their goal, stay there for a little bit, and then completely revert back going the other direction. They gain the weight back. They go, I went 100%, super duper intense. I didn't do anything for, 3 to 6 months. Now I'm here. I got my goal and I've completely burnt myself out. I never want to go to the gym again. I want to just eat a bunch of crap that I haven't had in forever. So that's not to say that, every single workout or every other day deserves some kind of reward for yourself. But if you truly earned it, guys, and you were good over the course of a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, don't feel bad if you do go out on a Saturday night and you have a burger and a milkshake or tacos and a beer or whatever it is, because that's going to end up holding you way more accountable long term. When you have these little reward mechanisms in place and you don't have to wait 6 months to enjoy something. But with that, you have to truly earn it. This can't be, oh my God, I did good for 3 days. We're going out Thursday night for whatever. I'm going to down some margaritas and eat this and that and the other thing. And then the next day we're going to go out for pizza. And then on Sunday, we got Easter coming up. And all of a sudden you're like, I was just celebrating for 4 days. So when you're trying to set goals for yourself and where you want to get to, is keep in mind to sprinkle those little reward days along the way. As long as you're doing the stuff day in, day out that you should be doing in terms of your diet, in terms of your workout, you can enjoy those things without feeling guilty about it, as long as you get right back on track the following day.
Yeah, it's just I agree. It's just the focus, right? It's focus on the 90% of the time that you are behaving, and then you don't have to worry about that 10%. You can do whatever you want in that 10%. If 90% of your time is all of the good stuff that you're adding to benefit your day, your health, your life, you're working out, you're eating good food, you got a good protein element, you're sleeping, you're managing stress, you're doing all the stuff you need to do. Then the 10% you can be a menace to society in a way. You know what I mean? You can eat whatever you want, but exactly, that doesn't come with, the problem is we end up doing 50-50, 60-40, 30. It needs to be it needs to be 90-10. You gotta, if you have, these goals and whatever. So I agree.
If you think about 365 days in a year, odds are you can't be perfect for every single one, but you
No.
can probably kick ass for 320 or 330 days.
Right.
And if you do 320 or 330 days of being really, really, really damn good, you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else over the course of a year that we're
Right.
trying to be perfect every single day.
Not even that. If you're good for 280 days, that's the thing. It's like you need, yeah, getting right. Right.
That's the plan, people. Hopefully they got your mind right. Your mind right, your brain right.
That's
Did
right.
we win our hockey championship? Do you have any idea what's happening?
I know I got that towel. That's
I
all
came
I know.
home. They used to give trophies, and then they gave us hats. We've gotten shirts. And then at the end of our game, the commissioner of the league came in with a bunch of orange towels. And he just said, congratulations. But we still have another game to go.
Yeah, the championship game is this upcoming Sunday.
Nobody on our team. We're all assuming we play one more. Did you just give us the trophy early and just said the writing's on the wall, or?
Thank you for my fluorescent orange towel.
Yeah. So we don't know. He left as soon as he came in.
Yeah.
Hand delivered a big orange bag of towels, and
thanks for playing.
Off he went. Thanks for playing. Great job.
Thanks for playing.
So we'll see. We'll see what Sunday brings. Maybe we'll get a trophy. Maybe we'll get another towel, but
maybe there's no game.
Maybe there's none.
Maybe it's done. Oh, no.
I just don't get what the point of the 3 games were. We played each team once.
Yeah.
So win, lose, or draw last game, we would still have the best record in the playoffs.
That's why there's part of me that thinks there's no point, because we beat all the teams.
Yeah.
So I feel like somewhere deep down, there's not a game on Sunday. I feel like it's done, which makes me sad because, like we were talking before the podcast started, Sunday's hockey game was maybe the most fun I've ever had playing hockey.
I know.
It was. I did not want that game to end at all, and I didn't feel good. I had food poisoning Friday, which I think it was food poisoning. I was just zero food Friday. Couldn't get anything down. The idea of today now, it's Tuesday, still feels bad. Like I have not eaten today, and I have to be very, very. I'm hungry now, but I don't. Not for everything. I have a bunch of aversions. Point is, Sunday night, I was sick Friday. Saturday felt normal. Sunday felt crappy again. Then the game started, and it was like, please never end. This is so fun. We had so many just scoring opportunities, and it was just
moving the puck well.
Moving the puck and
patient.
Yeah, I love when that happens.
Isn't it weird how every game is so damn different? You can have the same group of people go against the same guys next week, and it could be a total shit show the other way.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, we won the game, whatever it was, 8-2 or whatever, and you'd think, well, that's why it was fun, because you just dominated. It's like, no, we won 5-1 the week before. We won 8-1 the week before. This was fun. There was something.
Everybody was touching the puck.
Maybe that's what it was. It was really spread around well. There was something. There was a magic. Maybe it was the end game. Maybe that's what it was.
Could have been.
I knew this was the last game of the year.
It was the Michael Jordan flu game.
Yeah, I had my flu.
When you're sick, all your other senses get heightened.
Yeah, maybe.
You just start to dominate.
When was the last time you had food poisoning?
Oh my God. I think I got it from Chinese food. I haven't eaten it since, probably about 4 months ago.
Oh, so now.
And then I had a childlike meltdown after the Chinese food and was like, I'm never eating this shit again. Blah, 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 blah. Every time I eat it, I get sick. Oh, everybody in my house loves Chinese but me. I'm like on the totem pole of food pyramid. It's like always bottom.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
I'm like,
really.
I'll eat it if it's there, if that's what we're having for dinner, but it's never, okay, you can pick one restaurant. I'm never going Chinese number one.
I
So when we
completely.
get it, I'm like, begrudgingly just, okay, I'll eat it if that's what it is. And then I end up getting sick from it. You guys are trying to kill me. I told you I don't want Chinese. And that's my thing. Not a fan.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like it. It's good, but totally agree. One of the
Yeah.
last places. Never my choice.
No. If you get number one,
And
you
if
can go anywhere in the world.
Mex
Never breaks the top five slots ever.
no, mine's Mexican all day. Give me tacos,
Oh yeah.
salsa. That's just my. Mm,
That's my jam. That I'll go Mexican number one. Good old fashioned, just like American, like a burger and like a beer number two.
yeah,
And then I think everything else is just in the middle. That's really all I care about.
yeah, and then just Chinese on the bottom.
Chinese on the bottom. Everything else is interchangeable inside the middle. Those are the big three. But that's all we got, peoples. Um, as we tail off with food, if you need help with food or getting in protein, or you're like, hey, I get Chinese food every single day for dinner or for lunch, and I got to do something healthy, head to core4supplements.com and we have your one-stop shop. We got, look at this, da da
Wow,
da, collagen peptides.
man's
We also
prepared.
have, I'm prepared. I have 6 people behind this camera that have been working. We got protein and core4supplements.com. If you guys need help getting in shape, or you're not getting enough protein, or you just want to end up eating healthier, we have green supplements. We have pre-workout. We got the collagen peptides. We have gummy collagen too. If you don't like drinking it, the gummies are delicious. We have whey protein, vegan protein, pre-workout, pretty much everything under the sun if you head to core4supplements.com. And best of all, if you're a podcast listener, when you check out, if you type in the word podcast where it says coupon code, you'll save 10% off of everything and you get free shipping if you spend over $100. So if you want to get yourself a couple things, you can get free shipping and you don't have to spend any extra money. It'll just show up on your doorstep, usually in 3 to 5 business days.
Damn.
But that is it, peoples. Keep on keeping on. It's going to be 65 degrees in Michigan today.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm going to lay out, get some sun. Other than that, peoples, behave yourselves, and I'll see you all next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.